something me and JJ often talk about, and I know JJ's highly curious about this, Pomp, and you've alluded to it before about the manipulation being less or maybe not existent in the crypto markets. Could you just speak to that in general?
Okay. So hold on. Let me clarify one thing. When I say manipulation, there's two different types of manipulation, right? There's price manipulation, which happens in every market. Literally in the sneaker resale market, there's price manipulation, right? In the housing market, when you buy and sell a house, there's price manipulation going on. What I'm talking about is more the structural manipulation, like we saw the other day, where literally, things are getting shut off intentionally. Immediately, people think that, oh wait, hedge funds are calling and doing this or that. Being able to short 120%, 140%, whatever it was of a stock, like that stuff is much more kind of market manipulation done from a structural standpoint. And there's very much kind of a top end and a bottom end, and the bottom end loses all the time. But when it comes to price manipulation, I mean, that's happening in, every market. And so that happens in crypto for sure. My favorite crypto chart to show people is like, the Bitcoin chart. It's going sideways for, 12 hours. And then all of a sudden it dumps $2,000, goes sideways for 4 hours, and then comes back up exactly $2,000. Like, okay, that literally just looks like a perfectly shaped, like three sides of a square, right? You're like, how the hell did that happen? There's no way that was organic. And by the way, I don't know, right, for sure. But what I do know is that I'm not, I don't need to be a genius to look at the chart and say something weird happened there. So I think that people just got to remember that, it is the price is different than the market structure, but I think that at least with price, people can see it, and they feel like they've got some control. With the market structure against you, you're basically just flying blind.
Yeah. Can I quickly interject, because you're a fund manager, and so you're running size. I've never traded crypto. I find it fascinating because you guys have all these exchanges and all these different products, and they trade differently. How do you work size in this market?
So here's like I'll throw a couple of data points. So one, I do no trading, right? Which is a massive advantage I have, because everything I said about in the trading in crypto is, it's 24/7, 365 on 10 exchanges with 50 assets. Like, good luck, right? Yeah. You're literally going crazy. And so what I find is that when it comes to size, like, you maybe can trade, like when we're talking like real size, $100+ million, maybe you can trade 2-3 assets. Like there's just not that much volume, especially when you then break it down across a bunch of these exchanges and a lot of these tokens. And so if you want to be able to put like full positions on and stuff like that, you really got to be careful. Okay. What I end up seeing is, let's take the Bitcoin market, though. You can trade a lot of size there. Now, can you go and do like some sort of like smart beta strategy with $500 million on a single exchange? That probably still isn't really possible on most things. And so I think you just gotta, size in crypto is not size in the traditional market. At some point that'll change, but right now,
exactly.
That's kind of how I look at it.
And so, and when you're working this stuff, like it goes through a centralized exchange. This is something, because forgive me, I'm an old guy, so I'm trying to understand this stuff. So different exchanges quote different prices. So do people arb between the exchanges?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, this is cool.
In 2017, especially 2017, it still goes on now to some degree, but 2017, I mean, there was literally, $1,000, $500, $200 arbs going on. And it was just pure, hey, I've got an account on one exchange and I can, buy it at X price and X plus $400 on another exchange. And so it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that if you can move the Bitcoin from one exchange to the other quickly and sell it, then you're going to make money, right?
Cool.
And so that's a big one. The other thing too, I think that goes on a lot is there is a lack of Bitcoin sometimes, right? So it's like today, one of the things was like literally like the exchanges like didn't have enough supply, right? There's not enough people in the market that want to sell. And so it's a little bit different than like when you have everything centralized in a single exchange or two exchanges, take NASDAQ, NYC, whatever. you get lots and lots of volume. This may be a situation where you take up, I don't know what the daily volume is on Bitcoin, but let's say it's, I don't know, a couple $1 billion, right? $5 billion, whatever it is. That's not all on one exchange. So you may have an exchange that only has, $100 million of daily volume, and you get 2 or 3 big buyers come in the market. Like, you quickly can change that supply demand, in an order book. And so you can get, things that get out of whack pretty quickly. And so the exchanges obviously are aware of this stuff. They try to, quote prices based on blended indexes, and they're kind of doing all that. But it definitely is a unique market that has unique aspects that aren't really available or present themselves in other ones.
It's fascinating. Are there, sorry to interrupt, are there liquidity providers in Bitcoin, like market makers who will provide liquidity?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, there's a number of them. They all varying levels of sophistication. But there's folks like probably the one that you would feel like is the most similar is I don't know, like Susquehanna. I think Jump.
Oh, really? Cool.
Will do it. And then also you get like people like this Alameda Research. There's a gentleman, Sam Bankman-Fried. I think it was at Jane Street. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was at Jane Street, and he left and started it. And so, people who know what they're doing, have a lot of experience in the traditional markets, obviously see the opportunity.
Yeah, that's cool. Interesting. Thanks.